Pecha Kucha? Pecha Kuchu? No, that wasn't a sneeze. However you pronounce Pechachka, it all refers to the same simple presentation style that adheres to a 6-minute, 40-second structure using only a total of 20 slides. Pechachka, or PK, is the Japanese term for the sound of conversation, or chit-chat. This form of microlecturing not only makes presentations concise, but it also keeps things moving along, so your audience is often more engaged. In the last several years, PK nights have gained popularity all over the world, nearly 500 cities now. PK nights are where people come together to share ideas in a social atmosphere. All the presentations are shared in the PK format. We hope to give you a taste of that experience here today. Now, using the PK format is not only a useful technique for limiting speakers' talk time, but again, it really forces that concision in speaking. It's just enough time to make your points, but not enough time to drone on and on. And best of all, it forces your listener to be more active in getting a solid understanding of your topic. So let's think about what makes a great presentation. I believe that one of the key elements is to present something that you love, something that you're passionate about. Well, I happen to love this PK format, probably because otherwise I could talk on and on forever and put all of you to sleep. So if I threw up a traditional PowerPoint presentation here, typically it would encourage a kind of checking out by most of you. In this way, you might only mentally scan the information while you drift in and out. Let's think of PK as like the spark. What kind of spark can you focus on? Well, what can we do with PK in the classroom? Think about the sounds you hear in the classroom, maybe students shuffling their papers, shifting in their seats. Maybe you have students that are clicking their mobile devices, or maybe a student reading a really text-heavy slide presentation. There can be a lot of distractions. PK can liven up that classroom experience by breaking through that long presentation fatigue, maybe replacing that traditional lecture model. Maybe you might use it for an overview of several concepts, or maybe a simple detailed look at a specific concept. Or maybe you might use a series of 3 PKs, broken up by activities in between. Well, how about what students can do with PK? I mentioned to my oldest daughter last month that she might consider PK for her astronomy presentation. She looked at me and said, "Mom, I think you've lost your marbles. How can I say everything I want to say in 6-minute 40 seconds? Well, it can be done. In several classes here at HSU, students created virtual presentations using this PK format. The presentations were put together in a conference program guide where all students attended and reviewed each other's presentations. It was amazing. In one of Andy Stubblefield's Wildland courses, he had groups of 5 to 7 students giving presentations, and student groups could choose what format they wanted to present in. One of his groups chose the PK format. Andy reported that of the various types of PowerPoint presentations, the PK presenters were electric. Every word and every image was precisely crafted and delivered. And best of all, their fellow students were riveted by the presentation. He'd never seen anything like it. So let's talk about how you might get started on creating your own PK. Here's 5 simple steps. First, you start with the brainstorming. You might take a stack of note cards or Post-its and spend about 5 minutes jotting down one idea per note. This is where you just let your mind kind of release and you let all your ideas come out on paper. Second, you would begin putting your brainstorming notes into some type of order. Sequence and organize them like a storyboard. Arrange them according to how you want your ideas to flow. And at this time, it would be good to probably flush out those duplicate ideas or things maybe that you decide you didn't want to include. Now third, from your organized notes, you can begin creating your script, refining as you go along. You can do this right in PowerPoint or Keynote, or like I've done here, using a simple table in a Word document to jot down what I might say in the script column, along with a picture idea for an image that I would use in the slides. Don't forget how powerful images are. So when you consider what visuals, make sure you choose ones that are going to help support your messages, not distract from them. Two of my favorite tools that I use are Flickr for shared images and Jing for screen captures. Both of these tools are free and really easy to use. I probably use them on a daily basis. Now your final step before presenting will be to design your slides so they aren't distracting. So a few tips here. Avoid slides with a lot of heavy text. Nobody wants to sit there and read your slides. Use large images, probably no more than 4 per slide. And also keep your fonts and your placement really consistent, again, so there's not a lot of distraction. Now, as you all know, because you present likely on a daily basis, presenting is a whole other animal. When using this PK format, it's very critical to refine and practice, practice, practice. So you can see here that I've been using this automatic slide transitions, which again can keep me on track, but it also can be pretty challenging. So let's get ready to roll. What you're about to experience is several PKs on easy to implement pedagogies to engage your students in the classroom. Each presenter is going to use this PK format, so 6 minutes, 40 seconds per presentation. I've often heard this experience described as speed dating. What we're going to do is we'll go back to back, a brief transition between presentations, so please hold your questions for the breakout sessions that will follow, where you'll get to explore more. Enjoy!